Okay, a little bit of a review from yesterday, and then I just want to show you how you can check your work. So if we're asked to graph using intercepts, just remember that we're going to plug in 0 for x and solve for y. And then you're going to plug in 0 for y and solve for x. Then when you get two numbers, you're going to graph those two numbers. So here we got y equals 4. Here we got x equals 8. So you would go over 8 and up 4, connect those 2 points, and that would make your line. Now, you could also use a scientific calculator to check your answer. Okay, graphing calculator, excuse me. Now I know, my batteries are dying. A lot of you don't own one of these, okay, and I'll show you an alternative in a second. You can also get this as an app on most phones. But if we go back to our equation, which was 2x plus 4y equals 16, I can graph it on my graphing calculator. The only issue is you got to get y alone. So you got to place it into slope-intercept form. Okay. Now, instead of using a graphing calculator, you could use Desmos, and Desmos actually allows you to, I think this was the equation, 2x plus 4y equals 16. Yeah. Desmos actually lets you do it without using slope-intercept form. And you can see here 0, 4 and 8, 0. Those were the 2 points that we found. So you shows you right there on the graph. Good way to check your answer. Okay. Another thing we learned how to do last class was making a table of values. So you could make a table, pick a couple of points for x. I like to do like 3 or 4, and then plug these numbers in for x. So -1 times 1/3 is -1/3 plus 2 is 1 2/3. If I plug in 0, 0 times 1/3 is 0 plus 2 is 2. And then if I plug in 1, 1 times 1/3 is 1/3. So that gives me 2 1/3. Now, this one, neither of these points look nice to graph, so I might want to plug in like another number to try and get my good points to graph. Nobody wants to graph 2 1/3 or 1 2/3. But then I could check my answer on Desmos. Y equals 1/3x plus 2. And again, you can see that point that we found, that 0, 2 right here. And, 1, 2 1/3 is there. 1, 2 1/3. It's right there. It's just not fun to graph, that one. Okay. So for classwork today, what I would like you to do is graph these problems. Let's try to do as many as possible. Okay, I don't expect you to do all of them in the time allotted. Okay, but I want you to graph them on paper and pencil, reviewing what we did yesterday, and then check them on Desmos. Or if you have a graphing calculator, plug it into the graphing calculator. Again, graphing calculator, you're going to have to place it in slope-intercept, which is something we're going to do pretty soon in the future. So Desmos might be the best way to do that.